dreamer to put the world to rights. I stay home forever. We're 2 and 2 always makes a 5. January has April showers, and 2 and 2 always makes a 5. It's the devil's way now. There's no way out. You can scream and you can shout. It is too late now. Because that might be meditation, 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 meditation. Yeah, I might be your meditation, 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 meditation. Yeah, I might be your meditation, 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 meditation. Yeah, I might be meditation, 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 meditation.
In Metal Gear Solid, fates, like traits, are hereditary. The boss, Big Boss, and Solid Snake, each in different ways, come to face annihilation, what the ancient Greeks called Omega. Each are reduced to legends in service of what might broadly be called the system. Their true identities abolished without a trace.
Zero elevated Big Boss, the hero who saved the world, to the status of an idol. The truth behind Big Boss became riddled with exaggeration, misrepresentation, and outright lies.
I know all about the things you did when you were young. It was what kept me going.
I'm no hero. Never was.
That system is as much the focus of the series as any one of its characters. It's a system of norms, patterns, and programs, both electric and linguistic in form.
Language codes, information codes, beamed all around us, genetic codes spanning history. By controlling the codes, Cypher Zero intends to unify the world. Codes implanted into our heads, sucking our minds dry as it spreads from one host to the next. A parasite upon this earth, that is what Zero is.
Because the system program is kept intact artificially by AIs, it retains unvarying symmetry. Unable to evolve, it can only repeat itself in endless recurrence.
In the end, they're no more than a program. Oh, all they can do is repeat the same pattern over and over again.
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends to favor asymmetry. Those species which have gone extinct all show signs of symmetry.
It's true, from biology to chemistry, nature favors asymmetry, or chirality. The majority of organic molecules are chiral. An object indistinguishable from its mirror image, on the other hand, is called achiral. If this flaw of symmetry theory holds for genomic systems and structures, What about socio-political swords? Are monolithic cultural systems, like that of the Patriots, the socio-political equivalent of dinosaurs made vulnerable by a lack of information diversity? What, for that matter, determines the nature of any political system?
Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times.
What defines the times?
Since ancient times, every civilization's ruler has had the same idea. When people unite under one will, they become stronger than the sum of their parts. And the one will is the ruler's will. And what do rulers use to bring people together?
One possible answer, by the biologist Richard Dawkins, is known as memes.
There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA.
What kind of things?
Memes are soft-wired information replicators, the genes of ideas. Like genes, they too are subject to evolutionary struggle. Memes compete for the limited space within our shared cultural memory. The meme is the parasite of cultural forces. It spreads itself as culture, as the unit by which we're brought into a cultural outlook or system. Memes are transmissive ciphers containing a culture's memories and myths of truth, high-fidelity recordings of its way of life and perspective on reality. Memes function to band together genetically unrelated masses under shared kinships to form extended families or even nations.
I didn't teach him the most important thing I had to tell him. There are some things you have to pass on. The trick is to know which one.
But like genes, memes are subject to mutation. This brings up a key point. Though they drug us with fantasies of their truth, memes are not selected on the basis of accuracy, consistency, or usefulness for the host. And they sure as hell don't follow any moral restrictions either, though they do form the basis of any such code. No, what memes compete over is the rapidity, scale, and longevity of their own transmissions. They're locked in an arms race. We human beings and our convictions are those arms.
The Shagohod goes far beyond the level of threat. It will render the concept of deterrence utterly meaningless.
If the world finds out about Sahelanthropus, Skullface will have won. His plans will become reality. He won't even need to use nukes. That thing's mere existence would be enough to enslave humanity to the fear of nuclear Armageddon.
The transmission medium of memes is language. They can't exactly parasitize your mind if there's a software incompatibility. Once you've learned their words, however, you can't escape without forgetting them, because memes hide within the very taxonomies, implications, and interrelations within a language itself.
It is our destiny. The one who survives will inherit the title of boss. And the one who inherits the title of boss will face an existence of endless battle.
For memes, as for the boss, Big Boss, and his clones, being forgotten is tantamount to annihilation. A meme of deep psychological impact can become self-perpetuating. It can lose its original meaning, existing solely to self-proliferate.
The Phantom carries on his legend, his meme.
Computer programmer Richard Brody points out that from viruses
The epidemic at Mother
to
Base.
nuclear bombs, self-replication is, quote, the most powerful force in the universe. Once the process begins, under the right conditions, a self-perpetuating meme can spread faster than plague. Legends of Snake and his kin come to erase the truth of their lives and personalities.
You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word.
The odds of survival for an isolated meme pattern is low.
Accelerated aging. They don't know the cause.
Why do legends of Snake and his kin come to erase the truth of their lives and personalities? A meme spreads easier if it's reinforced by other memes. Even more so if the reinforcement is reciprocal. A group of interrelated memes can form a stable meme pool culture, which foreign memes, quote, find hard to invade. In the competition for survival, it isn't about true versus false. It's about viable versus non-viable replicators.
The legendary Solid Snake? You?
The real man is no match for the legend because the legend is more useful and stimulating as a meme.
Every era needs its symbols to control the people.
We've got a real live legendary hero with us. Try not to choke.
People need heroes to idolize and follow, just as rulers need myths to lead and control. Too often, what's left out of this depraved, secret bargain is all semblance of the truth. But who needs truth when you have immortality?
He died 2 years ago on that tanker. You erased me 2 times before.
Well, the good news is, you're in the land of the living. Bad news, the world wants you dead. Can't you even die right?
I watched him die. His will lives on. I was already dead.
Just as you live because of me, he lives because of you. Show him!
There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred, not even regret. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me, slithering through my body like a snake.
A phantom pain.
Unlike genes, if a meme pool survives and spreads, it, quote, may live on intact long after genes have dissolved in the common pool. Though few, if any, of the rumors and myths surrounding Big Boss are true, for example, they ensure his meme will far outlive the man himself. Taken as a group, these myths and lies form a meme pool, strengthened by their benefit to the rulers and the ruled alike. It should be clear why Zero and his organization Cypher are obsessed with information control. Power over memes is power over minds, and therefore the times. Yet this begs the question, who, between ruler and meme, programmer and program, controls who? Where does one begin and the other end? To that end, let's go back to the beginning.
Boss, why are you doing this?
Why? To make the world one again. The world used to be whole.
Before World War II, all the major powers competed in the same game, capitalism. But after the end of World War II, the world was split into 2 contrary meme pools. Now, both halves of the globe considered the other an absolute enemy, a competitor not over resources or land, but over the truth itself.
Deterrence. The idea of using threats to keep one's enemy in check is the perfect word to sum up this state of affairs.
The boss dreamed of returning to a world without absolute enemies, as does her comrade Major Zero. Together, they aspire to infect the Cold War era with a new meme of their design. A meme vector that will move the world out of belief in absolute enemies and shape the beliefs of a post-Cold War era.
Zero's original intent was to carry on the boss's will and establish a unified world state, an inside world.
To begin with, the boss defects with an experimental nuclear weapon. But she doesn't join the Soviet Union. She and her Cobras join up with a rogue agent of the Russian zone, Colonel Volgin. Their partnership is not to be seen as on the side of the Soviet Union. They are independent of any one state or ideology. They want to make the world one, and they'll use a Metal Gear to make their dreams a reality.
The world was once one, but the conflict between the philosophers has torn it in 2. We will use the legacy to heal that rift and make the world whole again.
As I said, memes evolve just like biological systems. This means abrupt shifts in environmental selection pressures can cause rapid extinction. What determines the fitness of a given meme depends often enough on the conditions of these paradigm shifts themselves. This means the path memes evolve down can be shaped by artificial selection. That's what the boss's insurrection represents, a catalyst designed to shape the future in its own trajectory. Her cobras work with Vulcan while Snake, an American, works with the undercover Chinese spy Eva. The nature of the Snake Eater crisis presents the conditions necessary for this coming together of sides without borders. Though none of the participants likely realized it, the incident was orchestrated primarily to trigger a paradigm shift in the military meme pool. Snake Eater set the trajectory away from the absolute enemies of the Cold War and towards the world without borders envisioned by Zero. But it would take 10 years for Zero to develop the AI technology and expertise to run the automated society of his dreams. The Peace Walker incident tested the AI's loyalty. Instead of carrying out its orders, the mammal pod drowned itself to prevent nuclear war. This caused Zero to decide the following plan. He would create a system to run society by determining its paradigms and adapting to any contingency through automation. The system, which would come to control the world through the English language, would be called the Patriots.
No, sir. I ain't no lale-lule. I mean, I'm no patriot.
You can say patriot. I guess that means you're clean, right?
The nanomachines I got in me are different from the military kind. No speech restrictions for me.
What the hell are these patriots? Are they human?
Not anymore, they ain't. They're the law of this world, created over the course of history. They're what holds this world together, keeps this whole mess in check.
Yet the total control of a totally automated system was both a great strength and fatal flaw. In 1975, with one fell swoop, the mysterious Cypher affiliate called Skullface brought the memes under his control by instigating a paradigm shift of his own. Skullface ensures that the system, which by 1984 is already activated as Zero's replacement, will not generate the future world of governance without borders Zero had intended. Instead, the world of the early 21st century was to become that of proxy battles, private forces, and the lingua franca not of English, but of war. In short, the events of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 detail what's set into motion by Skullface in 1984. But what incredibly virulent meme strain could provide Skullface such power? One of the fastest self-perpetuating replicator memes around. One which copies itself faster than the system would ever be able to compensate for. That meme is the doctrine of revenge.
Not even the thing she treasured most, loyalty. There was only the war economy. It was a colossal error in judgment, one Zero couldn't possibly have foreseen.
All of these children were orphans. They work in arms factories. And when they grow up, they want to join a PMC. They seek revenge on other companies, PMCs that killed their parents, and use their earnings to support their younger siblings. There are countless child soldiers like these in the PMCs.
Revenge, child soldiers, the war economy, they all go hand in hand. But like the first paradigm shift caused by the boss's defection way back in '64, Skullface needs more than hijacking control over Cypher's system. He needs a symbol to ensure the proliferation of the revenge meme. In order to really cause a paradigm shift, he would need another snake. Venom Snake, in the Patterns tradition, serves as Cypher's unwitting pawn, but Cypher itself has already been poisoned by Skullface's vengeful will. The system has already set the conditions necessary for MGS4's atmosphere of wars without end and without faces. As always, one of the boss's sons is used by that system to tip the scales towards its new paradigm shift. But Skullface orchestrates the shift into a war economy because he believes it to be the will of the boss. It's his misinterpretation of her will, which leads the system into endlessly symmetrical repetition, weakening it just enough to be destroyed thanks to the combined yet inadvertent efforts of Ocelot and Solid Snake by 2014. Skullface himself, ironically, was already the undead product of a meme strain. All he lived for was a sense of revenge over losing his language, his name, and his face. Skullface used the boss's will as an alibi for his drive to infect the entire world with his own phantom pain and lust for revenge.
No words will be needed. Every man will be forced to recognize his neighbor. People will swallow their pain. They will link lost hands. And the world will become one. This war is peace.
Cypher will rewrite the records, and I will vanish from human memory. But the thirst for revenge that I have planted will infest the system. No one can stop it now.